Hello and welcome again for joining me. I am Pushpa Lakshman. Moving on to the next code review presentation, which is also part of SNHU CS 999 Capstone course. In this video, I will be examining the artifact derived from the CS340 Client Server Development course. In this review, I will focus on the enhancements on the second category of the code base, which covers algorithms and the data structures. So let's begin with reviewing the existing code and its functionality. Basically, this project was a rescue animal training company named the Grazioso Salvare, who focuses on identifying the suitable dogs for their research and rescue training programs. This project was a fully functional and interactive web-based dashboard. It's a full stack application where the model, view, and controller development patterns were used. And underlying database is represented in the model layer, and while the user facing visual representation was represented in the view layer. This component manages communication between the user and the requested data. While going to the current version of this application, this shows a reasonable level of modularity where the crude operations are being divided into the distinct modules rather than being merged into the main code base, which enhances the readability and simplifies the future maintenance. This crude module can be used for multiple times. Throughout this project, MongoDB is the database, Mongo using the Mongo client, and you can see that the view layer is composed of the dash plotty and the dash leaflet, and the controller layer is composed of Python using PyMango. We created a dashboard and built interactive options like buttons, the drop down menus, checkboxes, etc. With the different labels, we can filter and display the map there, display in the dashboards according to the requirements. You can see here that in the dash table there is a list of the variables we have been using, and we are using in the geolocation charts, dividing with the style and having the map ID, graph ID, so which basically looks like this, where we can easily have an interaction using the filter option. This is the first time of me learning using the MongoDB. Prior to this, I had never any experience of working on the non-relational database, but I learned a lot from this course, and I guess that's it's good to use the MongoDB when we have a lot of data and different data types. So now let's begin on reviewing the code. So moving on to the code analysis, as we go through the code, what I noticed that this is an animal shelter class where we are having the crude operations, but I felt that this class is a monolithic architecture where it is single tightly coupled code base, like we are calling the create method, read method, update method, and also the delete method in a single code, which lacks the flexibility and the scalability. In case if you want to alter or any single function, the entire application needs to be changed, which is a time and resource consuming. So this is one of the enhancement I would want to change for this project. So I plan to break up the code into smaller individual services, thereby ensuring each service is independently built developed and tested. So I would like to break into smaller, reusable, and maintainable units such as the modules or functions and the classes. Moving on to the second code analysis, I felt that as we, if I will go through the reviewing the checklist, I found that the code is not completely or even correctly implemented in the design form, and it's not well structured or inconsistent in style also. There is an insufficient storage use, and some other it also has some other defensive programming, like it's lacking the error handling and the security measures, which are extremely vulnerable for the attacks and the malicious exploits. So apart from that, I found that the variables there it's the variables assigned variables have not proper consistency, and it's been redundant. Uh, so I think that my enhancement plan for the second enhancement plan is that to uh, to change some of the codes and handle the error, exceptional handling, and the security and the validation. And apart from that, I noticed that we have been using the array for storing the data, but as the array is designed for a fixed site collections, and given the animal class, it consists of heterogeneous data types. So for the complex applications, especially those involving the dynamic data and the frequent manipulations, I think the list would generally be a preferred choice due to their flexibility and built-in functionality. This is the other enhancement I'm planning for this code, like changing the array to the list, because the list supports the sorting algorithms such as the quick sort, merge sort, insert sort, binary search, linear search, which are very useful for the arranging these elements in a specified order, which I find quite difficult when working on arrays during my project. And also the list is a dynamic and mutable. So the manipulation algorithm can be very quickly modified and processed. Lastly, what I noticed here that as we are using the arrays, loading data from the database during running the queries can also take a significant amount of time and resources. So it's best possible to save the time by storing the data in list within your application's memory, rather than making the repeated database calls, and reduce the load on your database server. So next, moving on to the course outcomes. Uh, mm, According to the enhancements I'm about to implement on this project, the course outcome is the number 3, which is design and evaluate computing decisions that solve a given problem using algorithmic principles and computer science practices and standards, appropriate to its solutions while managing the trade-offs involved in design choices. By applying the algorithmic principles, I will refine the data structure and the algorithms of the animal shelter class to illustrate my capacity for creating efficient solutions. Furthermore, this improvement will highlight my skill in making the design trade-offs, such as replacing an array with a list, which will enhance the data access speed and facilitate operations like adding, deleting, and modifying records. My other course outcome for this enhancement would be the number 4, which is demonstrate an ability to use the well-founded and innovative techniques, skills, and tools in computing practices for the purpose of implementing computer solutions that deliver value and accomplish industry standard goals. This improvement demonstrates my ability to create the select data structures and develop algorithms enhancing the system's overall performance and value. The software is in line with the industry objectives of providing the efficient and scalable. By applying these principles and enhancements, the code will become more efficient, performant, scalable, leading to a better user experience. Thank you very much.